So friends, in today's video, we are going to know the story of such a robot, the robot that saved a duck child from a small marsh and destroyed the whole world. So friends, in today's video, we are going to know about the animation movie of the wild robot. So come on, let's go to the main video without delay. At the beginning of the movie, we see a robot in a broken box, which becomes active due to a few sparks. And to be active, this robot thanks these sparks for buying it.
We know that the name of this robot is Rosem, and he says to these sparks, "Hi, how can I help you?" Hearing this, the sparks were like, "I didn't force you to order this, I made a mistake." Right then, there was a big earthquake there, so the robot copies a crab and gets up on the mountain. Then he thinks of this crab as his owner, but then an eagle takes this crab for breakfast. The Rosem stay in the jungle and wants work from all the animals. But all the animals there were running away from him. Then he starts learning the language of the animals, which takes him a few days to learn. But until the end, he learns the language of the animals and starts talking to them. Then a small squirrel asks, "Did you come here to kill us?" The Rosem says, "No, I'm here to help you." Then suddenly a ox comes from behind, sends the Rosem far away. These animals think that the work of the robot is over. But then the Rosem stands up, seeing which all the animals in the jungle start running away in fear. And the robot keeps telling them, "Did anyone order me?" Then the Rosem goes up a hill to send a signal to his factory that his delivery has failed. But when he takes out the transmitter and sends the signal, then he falls on it. And it closes from top to bottom. And when it is rebooted again, then you can see that his endurance a lot of roaches were crawling. And a lot of roaches have entered him. When he takes his own body parts from the roaches and sends the signal again, then the roaches attack him violently. Then a roach takes the transmitter and starts climbing on the tree. Then every day I get up on the tree behind the roach. And behind them were all the other roaches. So the tree is stuck because of the weight. The roaches deny me every day. But every day I get out of the tree, all the roaches fly away and go into the sea. Rosem was trying to catch this roach, who had the transmitter. And with a lot of effort, he gets his own transmitter back. But then a huge cockroach attacks him. And in the process of escaping from this cockroach, Rosem falls down the hill. He doesn't get any damage in this. But where he fell, there was a nest of roaches. Rosem can see that the roach in the nest is dead. Hi, and an egg has broken. But another egg was safe, which also had a baby roach inside it. Rosem takes the egg in his hand. But for a moment, right in front of the egg, a roach takes the egg. Now Rosem keeps following this roach to get the egg back. And after a lot of effort, he can take the egg from the roach. Even then, when the roach gets stuck with a sharp knife. And Rosem then helps this roach by removing the sharp knives from S body. Then a small baby roach comes out of this egg. But then Rosem asks the baby roach to stay down. "Are you satisfied with my work?" Then Rosem starts going up the hill to send a signal. And this baby roach starts following him. He comes closer and eats the roach. When Rosem sends the signal again, the baby roach throws this transmitter. Then he sits in the place of the transmitter. But Rosem was still surprised to see what happened here. Then Rosem sees a baby roach, who had a baby on his back. Rosem takes this baby roach and keeps it with the baby roach. Because the baby roach is very scared. Then when these roach-like creatures see Rosem, they all start pretending to die. But Rosem does not harm them and sits next to them. Then this baby roach asks Rosem, "Is this baby roach yours?" Rosem says negative. "He is following me. And he makes my work more difficult." The baby roach says, the one who sees the roach for the first time, thinks of him as his mother. "So from now on you are his mother." Then Rosem says, "Mother, take my programming. And if there is no work, then I have to go to the factory as soon as possible." This baby roach says, "From now on, it is your job to take care of this baby roach." Hearing this, Rosem cancels his return. Because he has found a job now. Rosem asks the baby roach, "How can I take care of this thing?" The baby roach says, "You have to feed it, you have to teach it how to cut grass, and you have to teach it how to die. Because before the end of the year, this baby roach has to leave the island. Otherwise it will die." Then Rosem goes to his work. And the baby roach tries to eat the baby roach. Then secretly, that Shial Pandit was keeping an eye on Rosem. But Rosem's ear was seen. Shial Pandit says, "What is he doing?" Shial Pandit then goes to Rosem and says, "Maybe you don't know me. I am an expert. My name is Fink. And you may need my help to raise this baby roach." Actually, this Shial Pandit wants to eat the baby roach. And Rosem can understand this. But Fink says, "Don't worry, I won't eat it. So Rosem puts the baby roach in front of Fink. He puts it in front of me like this. I will eat it. Do you believe what you hear? Yes, I believe it. Fink's ear hurts listening to this. And he starts laughing. So we can understand that he is planning something. Then Fink asks Rosem, why did you help me before? Rosem says to Fink, help someone do my work. And you are an expert. Then tell me, how will I teach this thing to eat, cut grass and die? Fink wants to help Rosem from himself. Shial Pandit is trying to do something. And it is exactly what I thought it would be. Fink starts eating his own stomach to eat the baby roach. Like Rosem, Kakra, and Jainu are cooked to eat. Then Fink takes out a few seeds from the ground to eat the baby roach. In which Rosem's first task is completed. Shial Pandit says, yes, we have to do these things tomorrow. Fink asks Rosem, where did you get this baby roach from? Rosem says, because of an accident. Your family is over because of me. Fink then tells Rosem, no one knows this baby roach. Rosem asks Fink, how long does it take for you to learn this baby roach to eat and die? Fink says, it's very easy to eat and die. I can teach. The way my mother taught me. This says, Fink throws the baby roach into the water with a stick. And here Fink tries to eat this baby roach. Fink tells Rosem, if you want, I or someone else will not eat this baby roach. Then you have to make a safe place. After hearing this, Rosem gathers the branches of the tree. In the middle of the jungle, she starts building a house with them. And then the baby roach started talking. Actually, this house was built by Shial Pandit Fink. So that he can roam around at night. Then Fink asks Rosem, what will be the name of this baby roach? Rosem's name is Baby Roach 00001. But Fink doesn't like it. Because it has a number in it. Finally, Rosem names this baby roach, Bride Bill. Then the baby roach starts getting scared. Rosem asks Fink, how do I reset the bride bill? He is not a robot, so he talks like a robot. So Fink says, when I was a kid, I could kill my mother and mother. Rosem doesn't let me do that. Then Fink says, then you can tell her a story. That will work. It was not possible for Rosem to tell a story. So Fink makes a story. After hearing this, the bride bill roams around peacefully. In the next scene, we can see that the bride bill has grown up. And now he will practice cutting grass. But when he was ready to jump into the water, the kids from the next door were saying, will he drown? And one kid says, no, I think he will be killed today. Hearing this, the bride bill gets scared. But Fink throws him into the water. We can see that the bride bill did not cut grass like grass in the water, but cut grass like a human. And Rosem's hand was following the bride bill. When the bride bill goes in front, Rosem can see many more hands like him. And a hand from there recognizes the bride bill. That this hand has been cut by a demon. Means Rosem is talking. Then this hand asks, why did you come here? Is this thing dead? But before the bride bill says anything, there are 3 more hands coming there. They start killing the bride bill. It says that he is not like them. And Rosem saw these through his own hands. That's why Rosem comes to save me. With seeing Rosem, all the hands from there run away. But the bride bill can't fly. Right then, an eelfish attacks the bride bill. Rosem's feet get stuck in the middle of 2 stones. Rosem tries to run away by stabbing this fish with a stone. But it doesn't work. Finally, the bride bill is sold because of Rosem's hand. But then the other hands come there and tell the bride bill. The bride bill's mother died because of Rosem. After hearing this, the bride bill becomes very angry. Then Fink goes to call them and tries to eat these hands. But Rosem stops Fink. Then we can see that in order to save the bride bill, Rosem's leg is damaged. Then the bride bill returns home and asks Rosem about her parents. Rosem says that it was an accident. But even after knowing all this, the bride bill is very angry and goes away from there. Then Rosem finds some more robots like herself in that island. Which came to this island because of a fight like Rosem. But Rosem's luck was good, so Rosem is fine. Rosem can know about the work he was made for here. Rosem was actually made to help people. Rosem fixes a robot there, whose name was Rosem 6262. He removes the number from the name of this robot like himself. And his name is Rosem. Rosem tells Rosem that your job is to help me in this job. I have a job that is impossible. I am doing something different to solve all the problems in a short time. But Rosem can't understand anything. Rosem says there is no such thing that is not possible for the Alpha 130 processor. It is such a processor that has all the facts about humans. That is, the processor through which these robots run is talking about that processor. Then Rosem says I have a child. After hearing this, Rosem checks Rosem's system. And he knows that Rosem is changing his programming. You are a defect. You should not stay here because you are not a robot anymore. If Bright Bill can do this, then he will be able to go with us. Meaning you can understand, Bright Bill does not touch the ground for a week. We'll have to fly from morning to evening. You take this transmitter and go back to the factory as soon as possible. Then we can see that Rosem has come to the mountain to turn on the transmitter. But Fink comes there and takes Rosem to teach Bright Bill to fly. Because they don't have much time. Rosem understands a lot and tries to convince Bright Bill again. Then they start training Bright Bill. Rosem makes a runway for Bright Bill. And a creature puts Rosem on a stone. But Fink can see that a kind of liquid was coming out of Rosem's foot. Which is actually not a good thing. Then Rosem and Fink learn to fly Bright Bill with the help of a bird. And because of the help of this bird, Bright Bill learns to fly very well. Then an old Hush Long Neck comes to talk to Rosem. Which you can call the leader of Hushes. Rosem asks Long Neck if Bright Bill can go on a migration with them. Train Bright Bill, the journey will start in a week. For this, Bright Bill will have to fly in the air all day. So that his feet do not touch the ground. Then Rosem starts training Bright Bill according to Long Neck. Fly all day and night in the sky. You have to eat from the time of eating. Which was a very difficult training. But then Bright Bill completed it. At this time, it was time for their migration. Here we could not see Rosem's condition so well. Long Neck tells Bright Bill, "Can you understand? This liquid has given you a gift." Bright Bill says, "Yes, I can understand." "No, you can't understand. Can you see any hush of your own size here? The accident in which your family died. That accident saved your life. Because in that season, all the Hush children were born. They died of a disease. Only you are alive." Then Long Neck says goodbye and starts their journey. Bright Bill tells Rosem, "When I come back, will you stay here?" "No, I will not stay here, but I am happy. You are going where you need to stay." Then Rosem starts running with Bright Bill on his shoulders. So that the spirit of Bright Bill comes out. Bright Bill flies away from there with Hush children like himself. Rosem and Fink stay there. Now winter has begun. So all the animals on the island will go into hibernation. And Fink will go into a cave to roam around. Rosem goes up a mountain and turns on her own transmitter. The signal of which comes to the factory. Here, the migration Hush children, they take shelter in the factory. Where Bright Bill can see robots like Rosem. But that's another story that these robots attack them. So everyone else is afraid of Hush. But Bright Bill is not afraid. Because Bright Bill is away from the robot. So Long Neck gives full responsibility to Bright Bill. But then some robots were firing at them. So Long Neck tries to distract that robot. So that Bright Bill can take the rest and get out of here. When Rosem turns on again, she can see Fink there. Fink asks Rosem, "What is Rosem doing here?" He was talking about going back to the factory. "I turned off my transmitter. Even if Bright Bill doesn't want to see me here. But then I want to be sure. Bright Bill has safely arrived. Oh, even after becoming a robot, this kind of love. Okay, what are you doing here without roaming?" "Oh, brother, the outside air is very bad." "So is everyone else in trouble?" Fink doesn't want to say at first, but then she says. Then Rosem and Fink search for the rest of the animals on the island. They start coming to their homes. Because if they stay outside, they will freeze to death. But because there are so many animals in one place, they start fighting among themselves. At that time, Rosem buys a ball there. And after that, Rosem's condition has deteriorated a lot. But then Rosem tells Fink to help them all. Fink then calms them all down with a loud voice. But after a while, Rosem stops. It's hot again. There's a fire on Rosem. But then Rosem turns on. And quickly goes to the place where everyone will laugh. Rosem can see Brideville there. But she doesn't go to him. Because now Brideville is where she is. Fink runs and hugs Brideville. Seeing this, the rest of the laughter is scared. But Fink was having fun. Fink then asks Brideville for a long neck. Fink can tell from the face of Brideville that she didn't sell a long neck. Anyway, Brideville can know from Fink that Rosem is still here. That's why Brideville hurriedly came to Rosem's house to see her. But we can see Rosem in the same runway where Brideville was training. At this time, a ship has arrived to take Rosem. Rosem was almost getting on this ship. Then she hears Fink's story. Fink tells Rosem about Brideville that she wants to see Rosem. That's why Rosem comes out of the ship. Then another robot comes out of this ship to take Rosem. But all the animals in the jungle finish these robots. But when they all thought that the robots were over, then these robots start blasting. And this little octopus-like robot takes Rosem to the ship. Actually, all these robots are made by Universal Dynamic Company. And now that company wants to take Rosem's data. Because it is very important. But Brideville attacks the ship with all his might. But once Brideville breaks the glass and gets inside the ship. But by doing this, another piece breaks. Brideville can see that Rosem is closed. But when Brideville calls Rosem Mom, Rosem starts again. Even after shutting her down, she started again. Rosem takes Brideville and starts running from there. And while going, she destroys the robot like an octopus. Then Rosem takes Brideville and gives him love from the ship. There is a fire in the jungle on this side. So all the animals in the jungle go to him, who is trying to cut the biggest tree in the jungle. And then they all together throw this tree into the nearby river, because of which water enters the jungle and the fire is extinguished. Rosem takes Brideville inside herself. Then a crash lands on the river. When Rosem comes out of the river with Brideville, he can see that their house is filled with fire. He remembers that the octopus robot told him, they will come until Rosem is not taken. All the animals living there say, then we will fight them again and run away. But Rosem now wants to go from herself. To keep the animals of this jungle safe, Brideville says to Rosem, no, they will throw you into the river. Rosem says, I remember when you were talking to me on the ship. They cut my power. But then I was able to hear. Because I heard it with my heart. And wherever it is, they will never be able to find it. Then Rosem fixed their house again. And after a while, a ship comes and takes Rosem. The next day we can see Shulpandit sing in that house. Can hear the children's story. And Rosem can work in that factory in the lotus garden. Then a man came in front of Rosem. Rosem starts talking to him. Hello, I am Rosem 7134. But the man does not listen to Rosem and leaves from there. But then Brideville came to see me with Rosem. Rosem says to Brideville, but you can call me Rosem or Rose. Anyway, the movie was very good. I almost bought it. If you like it in the video. If the channel is new, subscribe it. And don't forget to ring the bell.